Do you suffer from excessive white discharge or yellowish white discharge? Do you suffer from itching? Is it foul smelling? Stay tuned because today we are going to discuss with you abnormal and normal white discharges and its solution A to Z guidance. Now this white discharge is not a disease, it is a symptom. In medical term we call it leukorrhea only when the normal vaginal discharge is increased in amount. Yes, I used the word normal because some amount of vaginal discharge is normal. It will give you a feeling of moistness and there will be staining of your undergarments that gets brownish or yellowish when it gets dried, and there won't be any irritation or any other offensive smell, and it won't cause you any itching, and the pH will be around 4.
Now let's first discuss when we have this normal vaginal discharge. Number 1. Puberty. It occurs due to increase in endogenous estrogen. It is of short duration and needs no treatment. Number 2. Pregnancy. In pregnancy time, there is increased vascularity of female genital tract that leads to increase in secretion of glands residing in cervix.
Now here treatment is required if it is accompanied with urine infection, any bacterial infection or yeast infection of your vagina.
Number 3. Menstrual cycle. Here it gets increased during 2 times.
Number A. Ovulation, that is the middle time of your cycle. There may be little amount of discharge due to peak level of estrogen. There is no need of treatment required here. Number B is the premenstrual phase, that is the few days before your menstruation. Now here there may be little amount of discharge due to pelvic congestion. Number 4. During sexual excitement. Now there may be abundant discharge from the Bartholin's gland during sexual excitement. Now all these conditions that I have discussed above, these are the conditions of the normal vaginal discharge. In all these aspects you don't need any treatment. Now before jumping into the pathological or disease or treatment part, let me quickly give you an interesting fact on, okay, you will find it on your own.
Your vagina has keratinized cells. It secretes glycogen. Now this glycogen is converted into lactic acid with the help of duodenal bacilli. The importance of duodenal bacilli is that it prevents the growth of all the harmful bacteria by maintaining an acidic pH in your vagina. Did you know duodenal bacilli is formed in the vagina of a newborn within 9 hours to 15 hours of her delivery?
Now let me quickly give you some tips on your personal hygiene. Number 1. Stop wearing the synthetic and nylon undergarments. Instead, wear the cotton ones. Number 2. Keep your vaginal area clean and dry. Wash it with normal water and don't forget to dry it up with a tissue paper.
Number 3. While using vaginal washes like V-Wash, Inti-Wash or New Moon, we can use them when we have any irritation or infection.
But avoid the regular use of vaginal washes as they may destroy the normal bacterial flora.
While you wash your undergarments with detergent, don't forget to rinse them properly with water, because if it is not rinsed properly, the little amount of chemicals in detergent may cause irritation.
Also, dry them in proper sunlight, not in shade.
If you're using pads, then use the cotton ones or organic pads, avoid the synthetic one.
While using public toilets, avoid direct contact. You can also use toilet spray sanitizers like Pee Safe and wait for 10 to 15 seconds before you sit in the toilet.
Pathological vaginal infection. Most of the women visiting a gynecological clinic complains of abnormal vaginal discharge. The amount of vaginal discharge may vary from individual to individual. So let's discuss.
In vaginitis, there may be inflammation of the vagina due to trichomoniasis, candidiasis, STDs and herpes. You may complain of foul smelling of your vagina, itching or burning sensation. Is your vaginal discharge whitish, flaky or curd-like? Do you suffer from any kind of burning sensation or painful urination? Is there any evidence of swelling or scratch mark in that area?
then you may likely to suffer from candidal vaginitis. It is a type of vaginitis but is not sexually transmitted. The causative organism is a fungus named Candida albicans. It is most common to occur in pregnancy, diabetic women, women on oral contraceptive pills, or immunocompromised women. Now, if your vaginal discharge is yellowish green and it's foul smelling, then you may likely to suffer from Trichomonas vaginalis. It is a protozoal infection and the causative organism is Trichomonas vaginalis. Again, if you have minimal vulval irritation, it is whitish milky discharge which is sticking to the vaginal wall. It gives us a peculiar fishy odor when mixed with 10% of KOH. Then you may likely to suffer from bacterial vaginosis. Now, this is a polymicrobial condition, that is, numerous bacteria are responsible for causing it.
Deficiency of iron, folic acid, vitamin B12, vitamin A can cause excessive vaginal discharge. Medical conditions like diabetes, thyroid disorders, chronic liver diseases can also cause excessive vaginal discharge, and conditions like diabetes mellitus favors the growth of candida. Dermatological cause like contact dermatitis and drug allergies are also some of the causes. Now come some cervical causes like cervical ectopy, cervical polyp, cervicitis, etc. Now comes the vaginal cause. In elderly women, due to excessive use of OCPs and uterine prolapse and pelvic inflammatory diseases can also lead to excessive white discharge. When no cause is detected, psychic factors like mental anxiety, sexual frustration is to be excluded. Abnormal white discharge may be due to benign growth, malignant growth of cancer, or any other foreign body. Your doctor may give you investigations like blood routine examination, urine routine examination, and culture and sensitivity, pap smear, and etc. and he or she may treat you accordingly. Now let's discuss some home remedies. Number 1. Basil leaves. Crush basil leaves and add honey to it. Sip 1 to 2 teaspoons twice a day to stop the discharge. You can also have it with milk every day.
Guava leaves. Collect few guava leaves and boil in water. Boil it till half of the water in the container gets evaporated. Drink it twice a day. Number 3. Indian gooseberries. Now dry them in sunlight and make a powder form of it. Take 2 spoons of this powder and 2 spoons of honey. Mix this well and take it twice a day for good results. Now, Indian gooseberries are known for its anti-infective properties. It is also rich in vitamin C and helps in boosting your immune system. In Ayurveda, we call it Svetapradar. Again, in Ayurveda, it is a symptom and not a disease, and it is caused by vitiation of kapha or vata kapha dosha. I'm not going detail about it. I'm just going to say that it is mentioned by Acharya Chakrapani, Sarangadhar, Bhavprakash and Yogratnakar. In Ayurveda, the treatment aspects can be broadly divided into 2 groups, that is Abhyantar Prayog and Bahya Prayog. Now, Abhyantar Prayog is nothing but taking oral medications which will be prescribed to you by your gynecologist, Ayurvedic gynecologist, according to your doshas involved. And Bahya Prayog, that is some sort of therapies will be given which will be discussed now. Number 1. To begin with, Yoni Dhupan. In this process, your yoni or vaginal region is fumigated with medicated herbs to reduce the infection with a special Yoni Dhupan instrument. We personally have given these medications to patients and they got relief. Number 2. Varti. Here, medicated finger-sized pills are prepared and inserted in the vagina. Number 3. Pichudharan. It is a special tampon prepared which is dipped in medicated oil and inserted in the vagina of female for a particular duration. Number 4. Yoni Prakshalan. It is a procedure where your yoni or vagina is washed or instilled with medicated drugs with the help of Yoni Prakshalan instrument. Due to prevailing COVID conditions, we could not display you the instruments. Now comes the modern medications. Your doctor may prescribe you antibiotics, antifungals or antiprotozoals according to your need.
If your infection is due to sexually transmitted disease, then both the partners, that is the male partner and the female partner, has to take the treatment separately.
And those of you who are taking OCPs, you have to stop it temporarily if your symptoms are very much aggravating. And also those who are anemic or weak, you have to maintain your overall general health and improve your hygiene. Hey guys, if you find this video helpful, then don't forget to hit the subscribe button right here.
And also like and share our video with your friends, families and those who are suffering from such kinds of problem. And also comment down below what you want us to make next. We would love to hear from you.
Until we meet,
Bye.
bye.